and greetings upon you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again. Another live stream, another moment, another opportunity for us to have some conversations, to share some contemplations, to consciously evolve, to have some melt mind melting conversations. Like my mind is already melted, it seems. I'm having a hard time using words right now. This is my last jar of these nuxicles. And it's kind of melancholic. Kind of melancholic. Part of me doesn't really want to smoke them. Part of me really does. And I've been thinking of it from this perspective of forgiving myself of the things that I think I'm doing wrong. Like I'll come back in a second. We prosecute ourselves. That's the thing. We prosecute ourselves. We end up being more brutal to ourselves than we should be. To the point where we literally ruin our own life experience. We cause ourselves so much anxiety. We create these perspectives of separation to the point where we can't believe anything else anymore. The thing that I'm trying to really consider today is how forgiveness has influenced me throughout my life. Especially so, like I got to share a little bit yesterday, this understanding where I was practicing a negative narrative in my mind. Ooh, fire breathing Jenny, what a pleasure to have you here, friend. Thank you for joining me. So nice to have you here. Like I wasn't really practicing a negative narrative. I was just in this state of, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. Why am I not feeling good? What is there to not feel good about? Nah, 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 nah. And then I realized I was telling myself that story, and then I switched it over to gratitude, just being grateful for things, and to kind of like lead that understanding from yesterday. We talked about conflict yesterday, and how conflict eventually arises. So I felt like it was necessary to kind of talk about forgiveness today as the only true antidote to conflict. Forgiveness is something that is so elusive, and yet forgiveness, I believe, is the only way to allow ourselves true freedom. It's the only way that I've been able to gain some sort of peace in my life. If I was unable to forgive, just think about that for a second even. If you were unable to forgive, what would your life look like right now? What would you be doing? How many grudges would you be holding right now? And it's something that Christian said yesterday to me. Like I asked him, do you think I'm good at conflict resolution? I wanted to know. I wanted to know if I'm skilled at the art of conflict resolution. And instead of telling me just yes, he told me, you don't hold on to things. And I've been thinking about that a lot. Like that, I take that as a massive compliment coming from a friend. I do try not to hold on to things, and I feel it's partly this understanding of that I'm not a victim, definitely. Partly this understanding of I can learn lessons even in things that aren't exactly pleasurable or enjoyable when it comes to an exchange, if you will. But mostly, it's easier, right? Like holding on to things. If we continue to hold on to things, imagine how heavy we'll become eventually. We'll be so heavy we won't be able to smile, we won't be able to move properly, we won't be able to experience any joy. So, like, just that, right? Like, if I find that when I'm in a state of anger or in a state of experiencing like some wrong has been done, I perpetuate that in my mind where I'm like, and that feeling is worse than what actually happened, right? So from that perspective, where forgiveness truly is for the forgiver, you. If you forgive someone who has wronged you, they don't even have to know that you forgive them. They don't have to know. Because you are the one freeing yourself by no longer holding on to something someone else did, right? It's like having your hands full with something. In my mind, having your hands full with cactus, right? Like you gripped onto this cactus that is like straight up putting thorns inside your hand right now, but you're gripping with such furious, dedication because how dare this thing hurt me so much? And you were just gripping this cactus and just letting that go. And in letting it go, not only freeing your hands up, but also letting go of the pain that was associated with holding on in the first place. Hi Mel, hope you're doing well. India versus SA tied 2-2 because of rain. I'm guessing they stopped the game at 2-2 because of rain. Is that what you meant, Charles? Maybe that's the way it was supposed to be, right? You tuned in yesterday, and I was like, oh, I hope your team wins. But it came from someone who's the opposite team, so it kind of like just fell in the middle, complete tie. Is that a bad thing? What do you feel about the tie, Charles? Do let me know. Are you going to forgive? Going to forgive your team for not, getting an extra point or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if forgiveness is the intention I want to write down directly today. Maybe I should forgive. Let go. Let go can be attached negatively. Melt. Oh, good day, friends. Love you, Joe Bot. The love I feel just reading your username. Thank you for joining me, friend. What a pleasure it is to have you here. Melt. Melt. Now, every single time I hear the word melt, I will attach it to the understanding of forgiveness as well. Like I have this whole little list of all of the different meanings that melt more are supposed to mean to me. And I've been thinking so much about this understanding of names and, how from the time we come into this world, we have our parents basically projecting onto us what we are, calling us names, telling you that you are this, and how I've chosen for myself this new name. And this feeling of, I don't know, being an imposter. I don't know if being an imposter is the right word, maybe. Maybe just this feeling of uncertainty when it comes to telling people, right? Like if people know you by a certain name and you tell them you are someone else, you tell them this is actually my name. How would they take that? How would you take that? Is that something you can forgive? Kind of tying into today's topic question. Would you be able to forgive that if someone claims to be someone else? Or just, have chosen for themselves a new name? Have you ever considered choosing for yourself a new name? If you could choose for yourself a new name, what would that name be? Why would you choose it? Why would you change the name you have right now? My understanding of it comes from this perspective of acknowledging that I am more than just a name that I've been called my whole life. That there can be such an attachment just to our names, even to the way we spell our names, to the way other people pronounce our names, to the meaning of our names, right? Like there's so much, and I kind of think of it from the perspective of spells as well, where almost like the name that you've been given is like a spell that was spoken over you every single day for the whole of your life. Christian is back home. Christian! It's nice to have you back home, Homerino.
Thank you. I'm happy to see you wash dishes.
First thing he says to me, I was like balancing on teetering even on the tip of anxiety versus anticipation. Anticipation to want to wash the dishes so that Christian would be happy. Anxiety because he's gonna give me shit if I don't wash the dishes. So the anticipation paid off. First thing he said was, "Oh, wash the dishes you did." I did, Christian. Today's topic is about forgiveness, Christian. Would you have forgiven me if I didn't wash the dishes?
Probably not.
You wouldn't have.
There's a long list of things I haven't forgiven you for, bro.
What? You can't say shit like that. You have to forgive me, Christian. Life is living you right now.
You even watched them recently.
Yeah, I watched them. Like, I almost basically kick into gear as soon as I start preparing for my streaming stuff, dude. Then it's like my brain is like, okay, now we're doing things. And I'm like, fine, brain, I'll do things if you insist. Desire is creation, and therefore what you desire is of supreme importance. To desire rather, forgiveness. We have 777. 777 people in this space right now. You know what? I'm gonna write 777 on the inside of the paper. I see you, angels. I see you. I see you. Looking straight at the angels right now, being like, does he see me? I do. Right at you. Infamous Sock, it's a pleasure having you here. Good to see you again, Mel. Hope you're doing well. As good as I can. Thank you, Infamous Sock. How are you doing, friend? How's life treating you right now? I think while I was, there we go, furiously shaking this pen, I lost my cap. Kira Burb joining us as well with a peace of love. I appreciate that so much, my friend. Due to my relationship with my family, I've often considered changing my full name. There we go. 777 for luck and inner strength. Thank you, Shannon, for sharing that love as well, friend. I appreciate it so much. How are you doing? Due to my welcome, homie Christian. Dishes are washed. Yes. I mean, technically they're like 87% washed. 88%. He's putting the stuff away. Forcefully making all of the noises. Yeah. Aggression. Disrespect your surroundings. Alcohol, thank you, Infamous Talk, for welcoming him as well. Rabbiton 3D, it's been a while, my friends. Nice to see you here again. Sakachao, thank you, Kira, for saying hi to our friends. I haven't seen you in so long. It has been long, friend. Goodness, it's been months. Almost like longer than 6 months. Has it been like more than a half year? How have you been, friend? How's life been treating you? Have you been practicing forgiveness? 777 forgiveness. I didn't write forgiveness on this. I just wrote melt. We're going to melt into forgiveness. That's a lot of water, Christian. Are you gonna start cooking?
No.
What are you boiling water for?
Boiling eggs.
Boiling me eggs. Alright, Christian. You just continue making noise. Don't worry about me. I'll manage to scrounge up some forgiveness for you.
What?
What? How are you all doing today? Much love. I'm doing well, Kira Burb. I'm trying to consider many different possibilities. And it can be difficult sometimes to know exactly what needs to be done. But I feel like we're doing as much as we can, so that gives me some sense of hope that we're at least doing something instead of doing nothing. Life is good this morning. Thank you for asking. I managed to walk a couple of miles now, and I'm cooking some zucchini, summer squash, and red potatoes for breakfast. That sounds very nutritious and healthy. Thank you for sharing that imagery from the sock and for inspiring us to do the same. I appreciate that so much. Christian in a fight with the dishes and silverware over there. Sounds like the dishes are winning. They are. They're drowning him right now. What are you doing with the water? Are you washing something else?
Yeah, because you washed like 50% of the shit.
Are you washing the dishes again?
No. You just left a whole bunch of shit here.
It's like a plate and a few knives and forks.
Yeah. They need to be washed.
He's being dramatic. Yeah, they had like some stuff on them still, so I had to soak them for a bit. The classic excuse. They had to soak. They did have to soak though, Christian. They actually did have to soak. Yes, it's been many months. I've been working on an album. Life is good. Man, that brings me so much joy to hear out of it. Working on an album. What's the album about? I'm guessing it's music. Is it going to be melancholic? Is it going to be metal? Is it going to be just like some acoustic guitar stuff? Are you singing? Did you write the music yourself? I have so many questions coming up in my mind right now. Feel free to share as much as you feel comfortable with, friend. Screw you.
So this really beautiful girl at the petrol station today, or what I thought was a beautiful girl.
That's a
And,
concerning sentence.
I was actually gonna go talk to her, but she wasn't getting out of her car. I was like, the dude was filling up my car. I'm like, come on, just get out of the car, come on. And she never did, and she just sat in the car. I was like, fuck, God.
Didn't give you a gap, oh. Wasn't the one, Christian. Wasn't the one, dude. You know, it's kind of sad sometimes. Being in the state of wanting to love someone so bad, wanting to have a relationship, while not wanting to be the creepy dude who goes and talks to people.
Yeah, cause like it would have been fine if she was out of her car and I can walk up to her, but not like while she's in her car, come up to like
Hey!
the window.
Sam Brown! Good morning to you, friends. It's nice to have you here. We have the infamous Isaac Osterling here as well. Thank you for joining us at the bed. It's nice to have you. I'm doing alright, a little tired, but I have energy. Currently food prepping. Thank you. Shannon Fabines, your beautiful mom friend. Feeling good. Finally getting back into a routine today, working out, doing yoga, using that power. Isaac, I'm happy to hear you're getting better about the day. I'm guessing like Jasmine is getting better alongside you. Do let me know, friend. Send her some good vibes as well. I'm seeing a big old X. X with like black on the inside. Has like a white outline rim. Almost like the white outline rim is like protruding a little bit. Has a little bit of an overlean over the black inside. Yes. Oh wow, Shannon, Jasmine is meal prepping today as well. There we go. Some synchronicities. Food is being prepped in multiple different spaces in the world right now. Christian is boiling himself eggs as well right now, so it's not going to be as healthy as zucchinis and red potatoes and... It's already been too far. Zucchinis, red potatoes, and was it squash? Might have been squash. You had a good day at work, Homerino?
I did. I was quite relaxed.
Did you press all of the buttons?
I did press all the buttons.
Good.
I pressed all the buttons, all the colleagues' buttons. Oh.
I'm seeing a singular eyebrow hair or something. She's doing all right. Just a cough. Okay, that never seems to go away. So her body is really tired from the jolting of coughs. But we're doing much better. It's so good. Thank you. I'm eating a bowl of oats with sunflower butter, bananas, sea salt, and honey.
Vegetable oils, phthalates.
I was trying to not say any of it, Christian. I wanted to...
I can read your mind, but
I didn't say any of it though. I was...
you don't have to say it. It's just oozing out of your aura.
Forgive me. Forgive me. Yeah. Like the rest of it sounds good though. The bananas, the sea salt, and the honey with the oats. That sounds fantastic though. While playing a little Elden Ring and working. Fighting demons, dude. You gonna play some Elden Ring, Christian?
Fuck no. My book is Elden Ring, bro. Wait. 10 minutes rest.
Yes. Take some time first though. Sit down here with me.
Coming on.
The food prepping seems like... Oh goodness. I mean, if you have a child, yes. Suddenly your whole life is just making food for another being. It's always hungry. Damn it, I fed you like yesterday. Why are you hungry again? Damn it, shut up. Stop with the whole I'm hungry, mom. No, I'm hungry. I need to sleep. I usually buy the pure, only peanut butter. pure only peanut butter, but the sunflower butter doesn't have any palm oil. I just can't remember the kind it does. I wasn't gonna say anything, and I was like thinking about saying something and chose to actually not say anything, and then he said it instead. So blame him. I had my oats with spinach, a dried date, and a spring of cinnamon. That sounds amazing, Shannon.
Hold on, let me get my glasses so I can actually.
Gosh, seeing that joint always makes my monkey in my mind excited and want to join in. Very soon, Isaac, you
Speaking
actually
of-
will be able to.
Speaking of monkeys,
Monkeys?
you guys should check out a French band called Chaka Ponk. They're a lot of fun. They're not very well known, but they have some really, really awesome and rad music. They're very sexual, but besides that, their music is very fun.
Ah, the French. Chaka Ponk.
Chaka Ponk.
Interesting.
Chaka with a K and Ponk.
I feel so freaking good. Rolling a joint for us two. Melton 777, dude. Oh, that's nice. They yeeted our stream. Isn't that unfortunate?
Brutal.
Brutal. I'm gonna read the comments first. We have a bunch of YouTube friends that joined us that were like, "Oh, guess what?"
They just fucked up your entire Reddit stream.
They
bro.
just straight
They
up
were like, "Sorry."
wrecked,
Whoop.
yeeted it away. So it be sometimes, you know. So I'm going to quickly read the comments that was sent on the stream. Oh, it's actually working. Nice. That's a surprise, even.
Jovan.
Jovan.
I'm aware. Just playing games with the name.
Like there's straight up daggers flying out the screen right now and stabbing you multiple times. Like.
That can't be right. I'm super friendly. I don't deserve
Wonderful.
daggers.
Forgiveness is coming up for me. 2, I need to forgive my family, but that forgiveness will not include trusting them again. Do you think it is incomplete if you do not award trust?
No, I think it's alright to forgive someone and not trust them again. That's like a level of self-respect that's necessary sometimes.
I think it is responsible, I would actually say. Responsible to forgive even without trusting them again. Forgiveness is for you. That's the way I think about it. That you don't forgive people for them to have something, but you forgive to free yourself from that thing. Do you smell it as well?
Something smells dead in here.
Mm.
Might be the potatoes in the cupboard.
What does he do for work? Me? This is what I do for work. Well, you're not here right now, but this is what I do for work, Ninja Whistle. Half instrumental and half vocal, lyrical songs. A double album, actually. Yes, I wrote everything, playing and singing everything. A few guest musicians. This is a very new thing for me. My pandemic project. That sounds amazing.
Maybe it's just you, bro. When's the last time you showered?
I mean, like a few weeks ago, but that's just me. Excellent question to ponder. Thank you for sharing. Okay. I've answered the messages that was sent. Now I can restart the stream and then we'll see. Oh, it's a beautiful little doggy sleeping on the front page right now. How cute. You wanna sit down?
I mean, I will. After the eggs are done.
Oh yeah. Shkabunk. We're live once again on the platform that is Reddit. Did you miss me? Oh, Reddit, you just said that you didn't even notice I was gone. Thank you, Reddit. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Christian,
I'm listening.
I can't smoke this alone, dude.
I'm not gonna let you smoke it alone, bro. I'd never do that to you.
Isn't that nice? You know what I'm thinking about instantaneously?
Scooby Doo.
No, you telling me that you won't let me smoke it alone, and then the juxtaposition of all of the times you've said you'll never smoke again. It's just like this.
I haven't said it that many times. I think I've said I won't do like LSD more often than that.
Everything in moderation, Christian. Even moderation, dude. Even moderation. Aha! We're back. We're back. Look at us sharing this moment again. Indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Let me read something we're saying from the side, saying, God wants only to extend through you that which expresses love in the world. It is called creation. How does that feel? To realize that you can be seen as the hands of the universe. I want to do a whole stream kind of touching on that topic, but you are literally the hands of the universe. You just, with the hands of the universe, decided to
Or
say
the
hello
toes,
to me.
or the ass,
You are all of the
or
universe.
the dick.
I mean, like when I say hands of the universe, I think of it from the perspective of being able to make actionable change. You know, like I can pick this glass up as the universe. But without me as the hands of the universe can't pick up that cup. So you are the hands of the universe. See yourself as powerful, friend. Beautiful, good morning, love that, love you. Krista Gustellums. Interesting username. Is that what I read correctly? Krista Gustellums. Maybe it's Lumbs. No, Lumbs. Krista Gustellums. Sounds like a spell almost. Sounds
Seems
like
right
some
to
magic.
me. Can't find any mistakes in that pronunciation.
Words, dude. Like I was paying
She has
attention.
confirmed.
Yep,
You did
read it
indeed.
right. Sick. Thank you for letting me know, friend. We are going to inhale tetrahydrocannabinol molecules right now.
Or just very complex tea.
Yes, tea. You know, and inside of this little tea container, if we're gonna call it that, there is melt from this understanding of forgiveness. And then while I was writing the outside intention, 777 people was watching at that moment. So to those 777 souls that were sharing this moment with me, to the 373 souls that are sharing this moment with me right now, love you, forgive yourself. Please start by forgiving yourself. Also 73 said, oh, that's trippy. Okay. I honestly feel the coolest thing about smoking things is that, dude. Like that doesn't even look real, dude. Like look at that. What the hell, dude? That's so beautiful. It looks alive. And the
If
fact
we
that
could only see oxygen.
I was about to say, like that is happening with every single one of our breaths.
It would be kind of trippy if you would walk around and like see oxygen all the time. You should be grateful that air is clear. Maybe it isn't. We're just processing it as clear.
Maybe we're just like deleting the information. I mean, I've been thinking
Shit, son!
I've been thinking about dark matter way more than I should probably, dude. I've been thinking about it from this perspective of like substrate as well, where we are the mycelium growing into the dark matter substrate, dude. And how
Like mushrooms.
like mushrooms.
Mycelium like mushrooms.
Yes. The interconnected, you know, cellular, one cell connects to another. Like that's technically what our bodies are as well. It's all true.
Yeah, sure, pan the camera to me when I'm about to smoke the shit.
Yes, look at his face. All of the joint monkeys losing their minds right now. I missed so many YouTube comments. Amanda, look who it is. Is it Amanda? Same Jovan, I left Reddit. I'm guessing it's the it's the Amanda that I think it is. So man, I miss so many of them. So Mel, the puppy we recently put an application in for is the same kind of dog as Pippi. Looks like her twin, dude. Are you ready? Are you ready, Isaac, to have a Pippi in your life? She's gonna change your whole world. She's gonna teach you more than you can know, dude. Reddit pooped. Now I can share love here, and it's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, Chauvin. Am I? Why am I not surprised, Isaac? Like, I'm also not surprised. Like, the synchronicities are too real at this point. So, Chauvin, I left Reddit. Thank you for joining us, Amanda. I got to send Amanda a message this morning as well. I think it's the first time I've ever seen your username, so it's a pleasure, genuinely. I love forgiveness. It's the bravest and most effective thing that we can do for our self growth, recognition, and mindfulness. To hold a grudge is to sit under a tree looking at beautiful leaves, a sea, see a leaf blow away in the wind and chase after it. You chase and chase and chase a fleeting thing, one single leaf. And that's such a beautiful like imagery. And the way that I kind of held on to it before was in numbers, where we can sometimes throw away our entire day because of a single exchange.
What does Isaac do for like a living?
Isaac at this moment is basically a salesman as well.
I see.
I do believe, Isaac, do correct me if I'm incorrect, but he works from home, which is pretty nice.
That is quite nice.
Gets to support Jasmine as she studies right now. Hey, Untitled, it's nice to have you here, friend. Natalie, love to you, forgive, but do not forget. Learn from those moments. And again, from that perspective, forgiveness is for you, friend. Like, you don't forgive other people to give them something, right? Like, it can be nice to be forgiven, surely, and you can give them that feeling as well. But at the core, you forgive people to free yourself from the thing that you need to forgive them for, right? Like that, the fact that there is something to be forgiven is the tension in your life in certain ways. And the longer we hold on to it, the longer we perpetuate that this is an injustice and how could they, and I'll never forgive them, I'll never move on from this,
Not forgiving is a huge hook of the ego.
Yeah. It's a story of injustice, of victimhood, and
You have to forgive for everything.
I was noticing today how
Everything.
sometimes if you forgive, you suddenly abolish or absolve yourself from complaining about a certain thing. And I was like, shit.
It's off your plate.
Yeah,
It's no longer in the book of grudges.
exactly. And I was like, dude, why would we just not forgive? Like, I understand why we don't forgive. but
And
it
the
was
only
this-
way to let go of a grudge is to forgive. No matter the amount of revenge you take, it's not gonna sate that horrible beast.
Mm-mm.
Because you're gonna feel shit about yourself for wanting revenge in the first place, that you couldn't be strong enough to learn from the lesson and just move on with your life.
And that is definitely easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Oh,
we
I
both-
know. I know.
We've both experienced some injustices. And it's very difficult to just be like, oh, it's all right. I mean, you know what I was thinking about today, Christian? Yesterday when Zoe was here and she just was like, and you were like, yeah, Estienne has been sleeping on the floor the last 5 days or something like that. And I was,
And she burst out laughing.
she just
bro. I
like
didn't
laughed her
expect
ass
that.
off. And we're like, no, we're serious. And I'm okay with it, right? Like, I have absolutely no resistance or resentment in my heart.
You're
in
not
that
sleeping
moment.
on the floor. It's not the floor. Come on.
I was just saying what you said, Hose.
I was being dramatic.
I was being dramatic
I'm
in
being
that moment
literal
as well.
now.
But the
It's
point
not
I'm
the
trying
truth.
to make is that is okay, right? Like, it's not something that bothers me. It's not something that I was like thinking in that moment as well, back to when I was sleeping on the couch in the commune, dude. Right? Like, I was like seeing this parallel. I was like seeing this parallel so hard where and during that time of my life, Holmes, I feel I was the happiest that I've ever been. Like, that's where I really became who I am right now. Being able to spend that time with you friends, like that is what showed me what I actually think is valuable in my life.
We straight up almost kicked this guy out.
No, I mean, they didn't have to straight up kick me out. I got the message and I decided to myself before they needed to, fortunately.
You were a risk hazard, bro. Mostly because we're not allowed to let other people stay with us for
Technically, yeah.
a certain period.
It
of
wasn't
time.
their house, but it was a commune, so there was couches. And
You stayed for like 3 months.
it was like
bro.
2.5
It was
months.
3 months, bro.
It-
Surely.
It was 2.5 months because I left on the 16th of April. And I went back home for a while before that. It was a while, you know, it definitely was a while, it was an experience. And it's not one that I feel ashamed of. It's technically one I would repeat probably if I had the opportunity to. It was beautiful to me. I mean, I got to know you friends because of it, really. Uh, Good day, Melody. Good day to you. Eat red meat. So nice to have you here. Thank you for sending love to our Kira Burb as well for the wholesome. So nice to have you here, Molly. So lovely to have you here as well. Eat red meat, Kira Burb, and Krista. What a pleasure to have you here. I think it's the first time you've ever joined us. Important not to forget, Natalie. I'm to the point, and it's so easy to miss these comments, forget, and learn from these moments. Do not hang on to things that are fighting to get away. Point it in the right direction and hope for the best. Very beautiful point. It's important not to forget, Natalie. I find that we must reflect with love, seeing these wrongs and loving, seeing these wrongs as loving growth, even if acted out of hate. It is not a piece taken from you, but a piece added. Mm. In the understanding of fractals, I agree 100%, Isaac. Like literally, it's a whole different thing you experienced. A whole level of strength you had to gain to be the person you want to be instead of succumbing to what you could be. Shan, Natalie, yo, Mariah, pleasure having you here as well. Thank you for sending some love, saying love to you. Mm. Realizing that in this moment you are unequivocally a different person than you were at the beginning of the stream. The feeling of identity is only a vessel for psychological continuity. Yep, that's the ego. Psychological continuity in and of itself. And sometimes it can be so jarring to start telling yourself a different story from an ego perspective because that psychological continuity suddenly gets interrupted. And yet, it can happen like that in this moment. Or not. That's the truth as well. It's a piece transformed like water. Sometimes we find cold and froze out of things. Other times, feel yourself evaporate into nothingness, but we all return to the flow of water. That's where the whole melting analogy comes from me as well, Natalie. All of our cells have already died and reproduced. The only thing that makes us feel like an I is that we have memories that are connected together. If in an instant you had someone else's memories, you would not would you not be someone else? You are just the current space that allows a certain set of sensations. I'm a hairstylist part-time. That is my main career. Just taking a break. That's right. Like he's doing what he can with what he has, where he is, so that he can support his divine feminine. And you're an inspiration, Isaac. Seriously, dude. Once a dream reaches the ocean, once a drop reaches the ocean, you will never have the same drop again. You are ever changing like that drop. Oh yes, you friends are like melting my brain. Like is that happening for you as well? I feel like I'm like student right now, being taught. It's so beautiful. Thank you, friends, for sharing so lovingly. Hello, Diana. Sending you love as well, friend. Thank you for the light. I see you. If you think about it, forgiveness can be at the core of all four agreements. The only one that's tough to link is to try your best. Yeah, it's a little bit of a juxtaposition to forgive yourself and to try your best. Because you can very much not try your best and forgive yourself for it. You know? You know. All of us
I'm
have.
always advocate to allowing people to believe in what they want to believe.
Do you know the four agreements, Christian?
No.
First agreement. Trips out, forgets the first agreement. It goes, always try your best, as the one that he just shared. Then it goes, don't take things personally. Then it goes, don't assume anything. And then it goes, be impeccable with your word. As the four agreements, right? Like where every single thing we do, we have made an agreement that I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna stay together, I'm gonna eat food and exercise. And now we have these agreements, right? So if I follow these four agreements, if I'm impeccable with my word, if I don't assume anything, If I don't take things personally, and if I try my best, then we're gonna be good. What do you think?
Like I said in the beginning, let people believe what they want to believe.
It's all frameworks. Different frameworks, different collectives of the same information in a different little bundle. The same drop.
I'm just not a fan of absolutes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Melted. All of it's goo. Sometimes things arise and then they melt back into the rest of it, dude. None of it is permanent. None of it is permanent. There is no absolutes. There is only change. Change is the only absolute. Can you agree on that?
Nope.
Not even change is an absolute. That sounds like an absolute statement. You see the paradox, host? That's the nature of reality. That's the nature of you as a being. Being the devil and the angel at the same time. Actively getting to choose which reality you want to live into. Interesting philosophy. Cute, angry, dark elf. I'm happy you're finding it interesting. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure having you here. Goodness, that puff kicks my ass. Breathing oxygen, yes. Interesting philosophy. You as well, friend. Good morning, Mel. These are beans. I've been thinking about you, friend. Thank you for joining me. So much love to you. Jem joining us as well. I was thinking about you today as well. Still waiting for your package. You know, I bought a work of art from Jem. Still waiting for it. Someday it'll be here. Hi, how are you, mate? I'm doing well. I'm doing so well. I'm thinking about forgiveness today. You know, I've told this story on stream before, but it's been months at this point, where I had this journey of actually paying attention to what forgiveness means, and also this numbered connection where they tell you you should forgive how many times, Christian? 77 times, 7 times. That's a lot of times to forgive. And it's from this understanding of forgiving over and over and over again into a place of surrender, where you're not only saying these things from this light, oh, this is what I say, but you're perpetuating that this is the understanding that you want to hold. And I was like really thinking about that, and I was walking to the copy, and I was just thinking about all of the people that have, in some way or another, done me wrong in my life. And I was perpetuating this forgiveness, you know. I was like seeing the person in my mind's eye, and I was just projecting forgiveness at them, releasing them of anything that I potentially held onto them with, like, for. And I got to the copy, and I went and I laid down on that big, you know, seated rock, and I looked up at the blue sky, and it was like it was bluer than it's ever been. Like it was almost shockingly blue. And it might have just been my attention to the beauty of that moment, but it just felt like I was free to see more by holding on to less. It was like the perspective of, with all of the things you hold on to, it gets all up in your face. Like you literally have it constricting your ability to see things. And then if you let these things go, it's like you can actually look at what's in front of you. Hey, morning, mate. Toast my lust. I see you. Looks at Toasty right now. I see you, brother bear. Why do I sleep so much? I have a bunch of questions that I have to ask before I can know. But do you exercise right now in your condition? What is your eating habits like? How much water do you drink? When do you go to sleep? Do you have a certain wake up time? Those would be cool questions to kind of like touch on when it comes to the topic of sleep. Really? Wow, it must have been months. Oh yeah, actual months. Still waiting though. Patience. I'm here to learn ultra patience. Howdy, by the way, how are ya? Thank you for saying hi to our beloved friends as well. Keep Downing Dark Elf. It's lovely having you here. I'm really good, thank you. Thank you for the love. Toastest, the mostest. I'm good, Toasty Bay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing so much love. Amanda's calling me right now. I am in the middle of a stream, Amanda. I am eternally sorry. I have answered the call on stream before. Actually, with you, Christian. You called me during stream and I answered. And it dropped my main stream or the YouTube stream and then it portals through. So I would want to answer, but I cannot, unfortunately. If you think it's Amanda calling me right now, and there's an Amanda in stream right now, and I don't know if they're the same Amanda. I think more and more maybe they're not right now. Shannon, if you think about it, forgiveness can be at the core. I overwrote one. I've been homeless before. This was actually on my mind earlier on how alone I felt during that time. I've spent many years sleeping on a mattress on the floor. Beds are expensive. That they are, Amanda. That they are. When I was homeless, I slept under a building. A roof is a luxury that it is. So crazy to me that we have shared some of those parallels as well, and it showed us a certain side of reality that I don't think you can buy or get. Do as many drugs as you can. First agreement. Do as many drugs as you can. Be impeccable with your word. Do as many drugs as you can. I feel like I'm missing a little bit. Maybe like going over my head. I hope to be high on life daily. You are. You keep taking breaths. That is you being high on life. How about that, Holmes? How's that for a life philosophy? You are high on life and you keep taking breaths as like you smoking, right? To get high. Taking a breath, now you're high on life. And then you take another breath to continue being high on life. Stay high on life, friend. Keep breathing. Please keep breathing. Natalie, Amanda, you're both inspiring. Keeping these things in perspective allows us to treat others better in every situation. You were both gems. Thank you so much for that love, Isaac. Thank you so much, Amanda. It's so nice to have you here. All things human philosophize are for fun, really. I see the practice of understanding ourselves as a futile thing. It only allows us to have the most positive experience possible. In these truths, we solidify things that the people like Terence McKenna and Alan Watts would have ascended into Aldrich gods or something. We all die and we all live. Contemplation only allows for deeper depths of love while we're here. So it is a worthwhile expedition in my eyes. Like that should be like the trailer. Why show up to melt streams? Just like reads Isaac's words word for word with a bear. So beautifully said. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for your kindness, Isaac. Thank you for yours, Amanda. Thank you for allowing yourself to be seen. A journey to seek love is indeed worth it. Sorry, not me calling. What a trip, though. What a trip. The synchronicities. What do you think about that, Christian? There's an Amanda that tunes in for the first time on the YouTube, and then there's another Amanda that I thought was that Amanda, not that Amanda, calling me at the same time while we're having a conversation with Amanda. we're talking about odds yesterday, right? Like, what are the odds that we're even here right now? What are the odds, Christian?
Don't make me sigh, please.
Sigh harder, dude. I was just being silly. I was saying the first agreement is to do as many drugs as you can. Oh, you were like trying to bamboozle me. Yes, of course. First agreement, do as many drugs as you can. Second agreement, don't assume anything. Third agreement, don't take anything personally. And fourth agreement, try your best. I mean, I'm just imagining this person living with this philosophy and then kind of being a good person most of the time, but still. Still, hey Mel, I wanted to ask if you had any big tips for leading someone on their first trip. I feel very confident of keeping them calm as I've been there a few times now. Any extra things that help? I mean, for me, I kind of like beautiful things. If you can, in some way or another, like for me, one of the things that I do it with is like my deck of cards. I kind of think of it as this literal, gem, this gem of creation. I can see it from here, but I'm not going to fish. You know what? Ah, that was my fingers. Did you hear that?
Sounded like you broke.
Was so loud, right? So, like, this little box was a gift that my mom gave me. It was this diffuser that had sacred grapefruit, sugared grapefruit, as a smell in it. And then I use this little box as a holder for these cards. I mean, not one of the most pretty ones to pull first. Maybe this one. Yeah, this one's sick. Together we fly. I've pulled this card so many times, and every single time it absolutely baffles me. And at this point, I feel like the together, that we is us. Like all of us. Like if flying is going to mean freedom for all of us, especially in the context of forgiveness, that is exactly what we want. Together we fly. So let me read what this means to you, friends. Skitty bop. Growth and freedom. Embedded within this card is beautiful geometry that was created by the crop circle makers in Great Britain in 2005. It is reminiscent of ancient stone glyphs and suggests a code that, if carefully calibrated, may unlock potential and accelerated growth. The magical couple holds hands as they take wing and soar above a lush, green tropical environment. Growth is all around them, embracing and nourishing their vision of expansive freedom within sacred union. By joining together in this freedom flight, they amplify their individual potentials and grow beyond the bounds of conventional relationship to a place of resonance with all of creation. Two hawks act as guides in a flight and far-sighted awareness. The dragonfly reminds them not to get caught up in illusion. This card asks you to expand your vision of personal power, envisioning yourself, unlocking your own capacity for growth, and then reaching beyond yourself to touch the ones you love. It further asks you to allow all your relationships to flourish and grow in their own manner, and to celebrate the potential for mutual growth and shared freedom. So Isaac, that's one of the things, right? Having these, like I think of them as these individual gems, almost like little portals into a whole understanding, feeling, an experience. So that is definitely something that's great. Nature obviously could be great. Contemplation, I feel, is the thing that I usually use when I'm guiding people through a psychedelic experience. You just talk to them. That's the best way. You give them love. And we can genuinely share love just with our words. So, and I know you do, Isaac. You're going to be so fine with the bear. Thank you for asking. Share beauty with them, and you'll be fine. They'll be fine. I want to take them on a hike or something after he gets his bearings, but also cars can be a bit intense, definitely. This is a beautiful card. I'm so happy to have shared it with you, Shannon. Thank you for flying with me, friend. Well, thank you for sharing, Mel. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you, friend. Right? Like you're the one creating an experience from noise. And I got to see that again today, right? Like even with our pixels right now, that there is nothing and then there is ultimate noise, where there's just like random pixels, flickering on and off in a random pattern. And then in between that ultimate noise and nothing, this. And you are technically the generator of this. Manifesting this reality right now, in this moment with me. It's a bit of a trip. Little bit of a trip. Kate makes me mad. Okay, I think I'm missing a few. Good toasty. Free to see more by holding on to less. Well said. Thank you, Krista. You're the one feeling with me, friend. So nice to have you here as well. Heather, good morning to you, friend. How are you doing? Oh gosh, I'm sorry to hear about your ear pain. I hope it eases soon. I hope so as well, friend. Sorry to hear that as well. It took me until my mid-20s to learn how to forgive. Patience took many more years to learn. I'm learning still as well, Miss Molly. Hey Casey, how are you? Kate! Is Kate here? I don't see her right now. But I see gem seeing her. So I see you pseudily. Kate, love you, friend. Thank you for being here. I kept sleeping through your sessions. Glad I caught this one. It is 9:47 here. These are beans. Thank you for like taking some time to be here. It's such a pleasure here. Like pleasure having you here. You are still at Christian's? Tell him I said sup nerd. Toast says sup nerd. That's him pretending to fight you. Big punches. He's so strong. Oh, I'm so intimidated right now. He's glaring at me with daggers in his eyes. If looks could kill, I'd be a dead man right now.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Toast. So much love to you, brother bear. No exercise. I drink about a gallon. I work nights, so I tend to go to sleep very late watching YouTube videos. So maybe that could be like a good place to start. To maybe just for like an hour before you actually try to go to sleep, to cut out screen time. Could be a good step into trying to fix your sleeping schedule, friend. But it's up to you. Like you already know all of these things. I know you know. But I appreciate you asking that question and reflecting on that. Like good sleep is good for you, friend. I hope that for you. Amanda show. I don't know what that is about. Thank you though. I appreciate it, Toast. And with each breath you produce DMT. So you literally are high on life, lol. Yes. Literally, friends. Your lungs is the top producer of DMT in your body. And then it gets channeled through your blood with every breath you take. And if you breathe intensely for an extended period of time, the part of your brain that has the highest blood flow per cubic volume of flesh, I know, we're still these fleshy beings, is your pineal gland, this little part of your brain that literally has light receptors in it. You're literally high on life right now. Good mentality to have. How are you, partner? It's so nice to have that. Thank you for asking, Elf. You rock. Absolutely love you. No, you. Thank you for sending love to Isaac, Miss Molly. I want them to hike. Wow, thank you for sharing that, Mel. It was awesome. It's going to be intense. He's my best friend, and I haven't seen him in 2 years. And the past 2 years for him has been really hard. He's been in a lot of pain. So there will be a long journey, but I know he'll get through it and be better. I'm blessed to lead this experience. You are the teacher, you are the healer, you are the love, Brother Bay. Thank you for being that in the world. That is the message, friends. Right? Every single one of us gets to be nodes of consciousness, gets to be the teacher, gets to be the student of life, and in doing so, we will change the world. Like we literally cannot help it. So funny that my screen shows 444 again as I tune into your live. I've seen the number 444 maybe 15 times in the last 2 days. It's a little bit concerning at this point, where it's like, apparently 444 is a sign of the angelic support. I accept all support that can be given to us, and with the support we will, Christian, not maybe, not could, will help the world. Together we fly, Christian. Every single one of us, friends. So funny. Again, thank you for the love. It's so nice to have you here. These are beans. I'm okay. Cut my yard this morning and allergies suck. The grass is attacking back. Allergies suck so much. Ooh, I need to laminate mine. Yeah, like I spent a good amount of time laminating and individually cutting these little, ooh. Of course, one of the romantic ones again. These things are beautiful. You see the infinity? But I want them to last. I want these things to go with me, for the next 10, 20, 44 years. Give them to my grandkids or something. How cool would that be, Isaac? How cool would it be, Toast? Like, I can't even imagine, but I know that you are probably picturing it right now. Divided we fall, together we fly. So much love to you. Thank you, Heather. Together we fly. When we are all connected, the same consciousness. This is the way. This is the way, friend. Indeed. And geese upon you, Benin and thorny friends. It's nice to have you, goo, gobbity gobs goops. Thank you for joining us, my friends. Nice to have you. God, brilliant card. Thank you, Heather. Thank you for experiencing it with me. Sacred Geometry for the Visionary Path by Francis Hart. Amazing work of art. It really is. It's a whole encapsulated, almost little reality of art. It's so beautiful. Quite the card. Thank you, Elf. Cheers. Always good to see you. Scotch Stap. It's always good to have you here, friend. Thank you for choosing to spend some of the time you have with us. Thank you for the all-seeing upvote as well. Thank you for the wholesome. I appreciate you, friend, sharing with me. Man, how are you? I'm good, aside from feeling pain in my ear. I saw DNA, but it wasn't very well depicted DNA. It was like spinning DNA, but instead of it just being like solid little connections, it was these little pink globules that was creating the imagery. So like pink little globules that was like sticking to itself to make the DNA. So I was like trying to whisper sweet nothings in your painful ear, and hopefully in doing so, make it a little bit better. Elf. I hope it gets better, friend. I hope it gets better. Love you. It will get better. Your body has healed and will continue to heal itself until you don't heal anymore. I'm actually doing good. Thanks for noticing me, friend. Thank you. Thank you for allowing yourself to be seen, Heather. You should see the Friday nights at Freddy Art I did. That sounds like a whole trip. I don't think I've seen that just yet, Jam. I like to speak to all. Meltmore makes my mind melt with masterfully arranged words. I string the sounds together, singing you the song of your heart. Magic. Words are magic. Words are actual magic. I am convinced beyond recollection. That's the wrong word. Convinced beyond doubt. Doubt is technically the easy word to use, but I'm thinking of a word where there is no way. There is no way that I can not believe in love anymore. God, and that we can choose to share love through sounds. But I hear myself saying those sounds, and even in saying it, it doesn't make sense. Yet it makes sense. We are powerful, and technically, you did the exact same thing. Shared love with me, just with pixels. Little lines found themselves on a screen. Oh goodness, no, please. We're powerful beyond what we can even understand, and yet we feel more disempowered than ever as well. It's a weird contrast to be a part of, friends. Believe in yourself. We need you to believe in yourself more than ever now. I hope you do. I hope you see that I do, at least. Really? I will see it after the stream. Thank you, Al. Thank you for being so interested, friend. Yeah, I love it. It's not quite finished, but I'll send you a pic. Please do. We are enjoying it, these. Not the eye daggers. I have a question. Would you want to meet your ancestors? And if so, then why? Would I want to meet my ancestors? I would, but I would want to meet them all, and I would want to I want to see exactly why they are the way they are. Like, genetic decisions that they made, decisions that they made that influenced their genetic expression down to how many mushrooms they ate as primordial ancestors, right? Like, I would like to go back far to see exactly why I am the way I am. I would like to understand that part of myself. Very interesting question. How about you, Dark Elf? And also, why for you? Mount, have you ever seen how our pineal gland looks exactly like the Eye of Horus? The Egyptian were also onto something. Literally, the cross section of your brain is Mel. It's completely okay. You're completely right. Like the cross section of the brain and where the pineal gland is, and like the little line of your limbic system, literally looks like the Eye of Horus. Depicted in the Egyptian, imagery. They knew. They were like 100%, and I'm pretty sure they were like using gang DMT and like the Egyptian times as well. Toasty the Mosty went and got himself a job, so I never see him anymore. JK, love you, Toasty. He does. He does got a job, and he gets to share love in the job that he does. Fuck you, autocorrect. I didn't want you in. Bro, romance. Boo, romance, boo. Oh man, seeing romance makes me realize that I don't have any right now. How dare I? You know, it's so bad where even going to the grocery store, you see other human beings, see divine feminine beings, and you're like absolutely gobsmacked. And you're like, bruh, bruh, bruh. I get it. I get it. I get it, gob. And yet, we can be happy for that being a being, right? Just being allowed something so beautiful, even if it's, fleeting. We've been working. They've been working me in the evenings lately, so it's hard for me to get up at 7 a.m. my time. I'm working this week, though. Ryan came and saw me. He did. How cool is that? Ryan and Toasty actually got to meet face to face, human to human. So cool. Thank you for the toes for like spending a moment even, with us right now. 444. So technically it's 4 minutes right now as well. So it's like 4 minutes for your message, 4 minutes for these are beans, 4 minutes for gobs, and then 3 minutes for headers, and then 3 minutes, and then 3 minutes again. So there's another 444 on my screen. 55% of my battery as well. There's 755 watching right now when I clicked it. Synchronicities. 444 has been coming up a lot more than usual. After about the first 7 times, I feel less concerned about it. Now, I'm not sure why, but I smile. It is a call to just, hey, I see you, right? And that's why, like, even my Patreon, I set it up that way as well, because I believe not only does the universe communicate to us through those synchronistic numbers, but we can communicate back to the universe with synchronistic numbers. Pulling so much romance in your deck. Is your heart what it wants? Is my heart what it wants? I mean, I feel more so than ever I have wanted to have a partner, and at the same time I'm calmer than ever in realizing that I already do in a way. It's this weird mind trip, and I don't know if it's an healthy one, so like listen to it with like a tablespoon of salt. But this weird mind trip of I as awareness is the masculine, and everything that is beautiful around me is the feminine. Embodiment, nature is feminine, spirit, awareness is masculine. And it doesn't have to be, male and female. It is just like a polarity thing. So I've been more and more in love just with life, where I feel like life is the ultimate partner that you have. And then in life, it allows you partners. And to realize that the original relationship is the one that you have of life. And it's this trip of even now looking at myself, looking at my own, like looking at my hands. I can see the beauty that is nature. Like the spacing between my fingers, following sacred geometry, following the golden ratio. So it's 1.618 basically as a ratio. So and then it gets smaller, and then it gets smaller, and then it gets smaller, and it gets smaller in the pattern where it creates a beautiful spiral. And our galaxies follow that spiral. The way that water goes down a drain follows that spiral. Certain snail shells follows that exact same spiral. That spiral is that creation energy, and you can literally see that creation energy just by looking at your own hands. And seeing that as the beauty of nature, and being able to identify myself as the seer, having that loving exchange, being those two sides of the same infinity. That's where I am right now. That's where my heart is right now. And unfortunately, I feel that maybe I am hard to live with. Am I hard to live with, Christian? You can tell me.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not hard to live with? That actually is no jokes. Very nice to hear, dude.
I think you're quite simple to live with, dude. If the person is mature enough, and I know I seem angry a lot of the time, but yeah,
Thank you for saying
you
that.
do get much sometimes, but there are people that get a lot more.
At least I get much in a positive context, right? Thank you, Holmes. Okay. So like the trip I was basically going into is that I feel I might not be an easy person to be with. So maybe I have to either become an easier person to be with, or I have to grow into the person that the person I want to be with can be with, and she needs to grow into the person she needs to be as well. So instead of now being attached to having that, I realize that it already is. That's the current trip. How about you? These are beans. Yes, I gave Melt a strunk. It's good. Give me more strunks. Stop it. It's gonna be a good day. Astounding alteration, Guru God. It is. It is. It's like literally him choosing to create in a way that manifests a certain feeling. 444 is my favorite. It lets me know I'm going to get all my desires and that I'm on the right path and exactly where I'm supposed to be. That's it for me as well. And I literally saw 444 so many times today that instead of just noticing and paying attention to it, I actually went and Googled again 444 angel number. And then I spent some time reading that. And the way that I kind of think of it, instead of trying to create this, oh, this is now something that is of utmost importance and this is something to be paid attention to with like a religious context. I just think of it as within the infinite universe, there is information, and the information that I choose to put inside my mind, I try to make it positive. And these synchronistic numbers prompting me after doing it over and over again to go and seek these positive messages and then putting these positive messages in my mind, even if they may not be true, I'm choosing to put that information inside of me. And then that whole trip. So thank you. Thank you for putting more positive information into my being. I appreciate it so much. Elf, thank you, friend. Thank you. Partner, I hate to ask, but would you want to meet your ancestors? And if so, then what era kind you want? The hotties are always at the grocery store. It's a curse. So at this point, I don't even want to go to the grocery store. Don't want to have any attachment. I want to just be zen, be all zen like. I want to go back to the farm and just never see other people. Become a super hermit, lose my mind more and more. Your friends are like, oh goodness, Melt needs to see people again. Half naked, mud all over myself, mud stripes. Sticks in my hair. You see it? I hope I never get that crazy. I don't think I will. Helio, thank you for the helpful friend, for choosing to share some love with me right now. I appreciate it. How are you doing? I would love to meet my ancestors because I view my ancestors as extremely scared people, 100%. Because mine were people who did not take shit from people. I feel before we became civilized human beings, taking shit from people used to be a common thing. I think we took a lot of shit as humanity for a long time. So, unfortunately, we have chosen divinity more so than our animalistic natures, and now we just have to make that conscious decision every day. I'm so glad I get to share the awesomeness of 444 with others who know the depth of the meaning. Grateful for you all. Grateful for you, friend, for just choosing to share in this moment with us. I just looked. I think I sent my first message as 44. Okay, universe. And the 44 thing, Toast, like it's a little bit of a trip for me. Let me show you what I mean. Know you. All of the love your friends send me. It was like a whole skit we did. I think it might have been like Jovan or Toasty. You know, it was sending so much love, and I just had to write a big old no you on the back of my book. I'll do it here. So, the 4, alright? And then the 44 to me is basically this 4, if you mirror it on this axis to the other side, it basically goes. That infinity symbol. So every single time I see 44, I see that sharp infinity symbol. And I see 44 so much. So much. How many times do I say 44, Christian?
A lot less recently, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, because he doesn't like it. I don't know why he doesn't like it. I'm so passionate about it. So like even the little bit I say it is like a fraction of how much is still happening. But yeah, dude, it's a message to me at least. It gives me that understanding of, hey, dude, understand. You are infinite. You'll be fine. The fact is, I would love to meet my 18th century ancestors, to my medieval ancestors, and finally my prehistoric ancestors. I am most fascinated about my pre-civilization ancestors, like literally hunter-gatherer ancestors. I want to see what they were up to mentally, more so than anything. But it's a cool trip to notice those differences. How about you, Christian?
Hmm?
If you could talk to any of your ancestors, what age of ancestors do you want to talk to?
I don't know. I guess if I were given the options and they were like, here are your ancestors, like lined up in a line in the different realities,
Yeah, different years and stuff.
I'd take it from the beginning and go backwards.
I would want to do that way as well, but I would want to take it from the beginning first. Right, like I would want to start
By Ape Man.
more hunter-gatherers. Like imagine what type of conversations they were having if they weren't just trying to survive, dude. Like I'm fascinated about that. Ryan and Toasty were in the same place. All that love power in the same room at the same time. I imagine it looked like the sun. It was so bad, or so good, technically, that there was flusters, you know. What are we supposed to do? Funny thing is, I'm proud of being a descendant of a Viking and Viking people. By the way, I'm Norwegian. Thank you for sharing your origin, friend. To me, in this moment, you are consciousness. Thank you for sharing where you're from as well. The picture, the fractal that is the cute, angry, dark elf grows a little bit more. Ancestors, the Vikings were important to them. Hi Javad, how are you, mate? Thank you for sending so much love, friend. I see you. I appreciate it so much. 1111, while you were my comment. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Molly, for sharing another synchronicity. Dark Elf and Toast Man. I'm breathing deeply these days. How's you? Thank you for sharing that encouragement, Jovan. Just for breathing deeply again. Also, finding a partner that's spiritual can make the situation a lot easier. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I can't see it anyway else. I should like to be completely honest. I'm good, including the spaces. The comment is 33 characters long. 11 plus 11 plus 11. Eating a banana. I think I'm an easy person to be with, but finding a spiritual partner has been difficult. Spirituality is a big part of my life, and I've found in the past experiences that if the other person isn't in tune, that it doesn't work. Yeah, I feel the same way. You know, and it's a difficult thing because we grow, we continue to grow, and that spiritual depth can continue to grow as well. And ego gets in the way so easily with everything in life. And with spirituality, there is a certain story the ego tells itself of unworthiness or inability to be something that it sees outside of itself, not realizing that it is literally seeing itself. Right? So if that level of spirituality can be maintained, things can continue to be good. But it's very difficult, as you mentioned, these are beings, to find people like that. It's not impossible. We exist. Here we are right now in this moment. The Vikings were badass. Oh yeah. They would get super high on mushrooms and go on killing sprees. crazy dudes. Yeah, they were dangerous people. Oh, dangerous is the right word. Ah, Melt, you must experience love and loss. It will be blessed and painful, but you will level up with the strength and maturity you never knew you had. I'm already feeling that, Toast. Like you're hitting on notes that I don't even think you know what notes you're hitting on, but you're like hitting all the notes, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I feel honestly that what you mentioned about the maturity, I feel good, dude. Yes, I feel like I'm strong. I feel like I'm not so easily swayed. Still swayed, but not easily swayed. You know, maybe I used to be very easily swayed, but now I'm a little bit more rigid. You know, and I'm thinking as I'm saying this, reminding myself to melt more. Balance, not bad. Thank you, about the toast, for sharing that love. I appreciate it so much. Not just that their gods, myths, and weaponry are just gorgeous things to look at. Yo, what a trip it would be talking about religion to your ancient ancestors. Goodness. Mm. The hotties are at Menards. I don't know what Menards are. Maybe it's like a type of shopping mall or something, or a brand, or a chain. Probably, I that's what I'm thinking. Thank you, Miss Molly. Looks like a sail slash boat. Finding anything interesting. Isn't it funny how the first 10 digits of the Fibonacci sequence adds up to 88, which is a factor of the next 11. I didn't find any of it surprising at this point. I just find it awe-inspiring slash curiosity slash want for knowing inducing. You know, like I see these things and I want to know even more. I want to see how exactly those kind of frequencies, those patterns gets melted, folded, weaved through the rest of reality. I noticed your Amanita mushroom necklace. What is it? This is a this little thing I made myself. This, of course, is Mother Earth's creation. It is a little coral quartz crystal, and then this is like just clay. And yeah, like while I was busy with my yoga teacher training, I had this moment of like I need to fix my necklace. It was a little mushroom necklace that had like a almost like window putty color. It wasn't very beautiful, but it was functional. It held the little crystal together. And unfortunately, it broke eventually, and the person who sold it to me passed away during that time as well. And I didn't wear it because it was broken for a very long time, for like a year almost. And then I suddenly had this moment of like, okay, it's time. And I pulled the old little, top piece mushroom head off of it, made a new one, made a new string, and I haven't taken it off since. I've taken it, I took it off like the first 3 days when I, would shower and stuff. And then I was like, this is tedious. Paracord is waterproof. And yeah, now I just wear it, ceaselessly. I kind of think of it from this perspective of, you want to come and punch me?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What do you think about my serious guy, aggressive voice? Kind of went softer when I was like talking, technically. What trip was I going through in that moment? That is the necklace. Necklace, yes. So, okay, the crystal itself literally had to take millions of years to become what it is right now. Just that 44% of my battery right now, just share the trips. Like the crystal itself took millions of years to be as it is right now. And it was in a certain place within, the infinite whole. And it was experiencing, in my opinion, a state of reality as it was being formed. And then I chose to take this little crystal for myself and make a necklace out of it. And now this little crystal not only gets to be valued enough to be moved by a being that has autonomy over reality, but it also now gets to see all of the things that this being takes it through. So I feel like almost this little crystal is a being that I've enchanted, right? Like I've told myself a story about the first layer of like red protection coming off of it, going all over my body, protecting my immediate, being. And then the second layer is orange, that is all of my relationships, all of the people that I have a relationship with, and the love extended to them as like a force field, protecting them from whatever. And then the next layer is yellow, that protects everyone from a place of a want to love, a will to love. And then it goes from a place of to a layer of green, where it protects every being that I can have compassionate love for, and that is every being. And then the last layer that I at least thought about was the blue layer, and it just encapsulates the entire universe. So as these almost like nesting dolls of energy coming off of it. So it's all a trip, all of it. Life is the trip, and I think of it from this perspective of I can either trip out about what life is giving me constantly, or I can trip myself out with what I give myself in life. And as soon as I realized that I have the power to choose what I want to think about my reality and how I want to experience it and the beauty I want to see in it, I chose to see more beauty. I chose to see love. I choose to see love as the truth that is my reality. And to be able to share that with you friends and to have you friends resonate with that as a manifestation of the power that we have as good people, it melts my mind. It straight up melts my brain. Like I try to understand it and I just can't. How is this even possible? And yet here it is. Here we are experiencing it right now in the tool department. And there's Amanita. Do you ever wear your pash in the publics? Do I wear my pashminas in public, Christian?
You would wear a blanket in public if you were allowed.
I do, Toast. Everything you see, this is actually how I dress. This is not me putting on a shirt. I actually dress this way to go out in public this way. It's beautiful to me because I also get to use my scarves as like a face mask. So I never wear a face mask, one of those little cloth or like little surgical ones. I usually go out like this, and they let me through because at least my face is covered. So I kind of feel like I'm ahead of the curve sometimes. Good morning, friends. Ooh, Uncle Becky, Brother Brandon. So nice to have you here. Oh shit, it's a lighter. Oh, you're talking about this one. This one is a gift from a friend. Do you remember Kim?
Kardashian.
Yes. Yes. Kim Kardashian gave me this mushroom lighter. Kim, the French girl from the Psytrance parties.
No.
Don't? Maybe you wouldn't actually. She was there, but I don't think we really socialized as a group that much. The Twilight that me and Adam went to together
I'm not gonna remember.
was with Kim. And she basically comes to me, Christian. She tells me to close my eyes. She puts something around my neck. She tells me to open my eyes. She's like this close to me. I look down, I see the lighter. She's still this close to me. I'm like, oh cool, look at this, Adam. Bruh, and I see her mood drop, and I'm like, what happened? What happened? I'm super in the infinity at that point. What happened? So oblivious as to what I've done, or what I haven't done. And yet still here it is. Still serving, Christian. Goodness. But it wasn't supposed to be. It wouldn't have been. It would have been an experience, but it wouldn't have been the experience that I needed to have. So I didn't have it. And that's good. Sometimes it's okay to sway a little. It's completely okay, Toast. Uncle Becky is in the chat. So nice to have him, right? So freaking cool. Heather, hey Fran, it's highly valued that if you become successful and such, that is remembered that the moments of life that you had before becoming successful to keep you humble. Toast is gonna be so successful. Like Toast is gonna be so successful that he'll have to constantly wear shades. He already wears shades. He's gonna wear shades twice as much. That's how bright his future is gonna be. Like legitimately, Toast has a creative brain that is beautiful, you know. And the way that I kind of see our future going is the Melting Collective. Reach out to you, Uncle Becky. The Melting Collective, where instead of having to have created a company and then try and recruit people with a salary to an idea that they believe in, we have found one another as a collective that believes in a certain idea. And I imagine in the future us being able to be our creative selves and create works of art for the world to experience and actually be able to make a decent living in doing so. So, manifest with you, friends. Thank you for joining me. It's such a wonderful pleasure having you here always. We'll all be successful together. Together, we fly, Elf. You're a yoga teacher. I am. These are beans. Certified and all. That is awesome. I've been in the fence for some time now, trying to decide if I should become a Reiki teacher. Not sure what to do, but I know in my heart I want to spread good into the world to help others on their spiritual paths. I'm guessing is the way you would say it. Start showing up for it for 10 minutes a day. These are beans. You know, even if you only start by sitting down and writing in a journal, this is how I could teach people Reiki. And you do that for 10 minutes a day for the next year. See where you are, see what has changed, see who you've become in doing that. And that's the way we grow. You know, you don't have to know exactly what you have to do. Sometimes you just have to show up for that. You know, show up with a piece of paper and a pen and write down what comes to your mind, what feels significant. Write down your own name. Write down just what you want to think about as a start. For your information, Haywire Hill is ranked number 1 of 3.5 million subreddits in the category of guiding pet subscriber. It sums up perfectly how giving and loving this community is. Haywire Hill is home, and it's a beautiful one. How blessed are we to have Haywire Hill. Thank you, Uncle Becky, for giving us this space so graciously. We love you, Brother Bear. What's your favorite crystal? One that resonates with you. Mine has to be selenite, amethyst, and rose quartz. I want some selenite. I don't have any just yet. Amethyst is gang. You know, I feel amethysts speak to me in a way. Like I imagine those little individual little tips, the convergence points. I don't know how to say it. The tips of the crystal is almost like these little nodes for the infinity to flow through. So I imagine them projecting into my world as they suck into their world. I don't know if that makes any sense. You're like, oh, yes, insanity. Yeah. Rose quartz, of course. I have a few rose quartzes in my pillow casing, and I feel like this is one of my favorites. This is like my personal crystal, right? Like this one has very big spiritual significance. The first ever music festival I went to, I got this at Moksha. Remember that, Christian? Remember Moksha?
What a trip. I remember some parts of Moksha.
I remember blurs of Moksha. Flashes. This one is one of my favorites as well. It's a whole vibe. Just imagining the universe creating this. It's so beautiful. It's, I can't even. Can't even words properly. Thank you for asking me, friend. I appreciate it so much. Gilding per subscriber. Thank you, Brother Bay. I don't know what that means exactly, but I appreciate the love so much. You sharing the enthusiasm. Feel you, Mel. Know you. So much love. 10 minutes back. I feel you, Mel. Since not being a hairdresser, I've been able to wear colors and patterns I like to express. Not just black and white and gray. The hairdresser. There's a hairdresser dress code? That's crazy. So now I walk around, my poofy hippie pants and floral shirts with big hair, and I get a lot of eyes, but that's just recognition. You get to show people that which they are, you know, even if they aren't you, they know they could be. Amethyst, I have a pair of amethyst plugs for my ears. I don't wear them often because they're heavy. Did you just hear what I heard?
What?
She has Amethyst earplugs, Christian.
Earplugs.
You know what amethysts are?
Yeah.
The purple crystal?
Yeah. Earplugs.
Earplugs. But they're heavy, so she doesn't wear them a lot.
What are the earplugs for?
To plug your ears.
Yeah, for what?
To have plugged ears, Christian.
I never plug my ears.
I plug my ears all the time.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not all the time. That's a little bit excessive, but some of the time.
That sounds excessive, bro.
It helps with the noise that's
I see.
from the outside.
From the outside.
Yeah, from
Just
the
turn the
outside.
fan on, bro.
Sometimes you don't want to hear the fan noise. You just want to listen to the streams of your brain, your neurons firing, and the sound that makes. Can you hear your neurons firing? That's what I've summed up tinnitus is to me, dude. It's just I hear my brain cells being like, "Wee, squam, squeamish." I mean, it just makes this like a single tone, 22,000 hertz. I can't even make that sound. It's too high for my brain, of my voice. Whoa. I just got a blast of an image of sharing a nice cup of tea, showing you Jasmine's mineral collection. Excited for those memories to happen. A dream we dream together becomes reality. I see it by the bay. Thank you. For stretched ears or blocking sounds. Oh, it might be for the stretched ears. That might actually be it. It might not be. Yeah. Shannon, do you mean like guarded piercings? I think so. No, guarded ears. My earlobes are stretched 19 millimeters. The amethyst plugs are for those, not plugs, so I cannot hear. Those, butt plugs, so I cannot hear. The amethyst plugs are for those, not plugs, so I cannot hear. Okay, thank you. So instead of it being in-ear plugs, Christian, it is those little hoopy, I don't know what you call them. Guess that's what you call the plugs. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate it so much. Clear chords are natural timekeepers. IIRC. It is why scientists prefer quartz dating over carbon dating. They're literally wearing a natural clock from the moments the universe spawned it. That's why I wear this one as well. Toes, like I kind of see the, hourglass, the symbol of time as well. And that's also an infinity symbol. Oh, okay, I got you. How awesome. I'm sure they're a beautiful friend. I can only imagine. I'm thinking about the amethyst crystal being in such close proximity to your brain, to your ears, and the energy that it like emits, and then like sounds float through the air and it goes through that energy before hitting your ear. I'm tripping out. It's beautiful. Yes, for the lobe. So sorry for the confusion. No, I got to share a beautiful little fractal of understanding, even though it was a wrong one. I appreciate you correcting me, friend. Life is a trip, I agree. After doing mushrooms and DMT, it's like I'm a sober trip 24/7. Yep. It's still weirding me out to know that we are consciousness in a meat suit. Isn't it beautiful? The earth creates those crystals. Like earth has literally created jewelry, such a blessing. Yeah, gems. Actual gems of creation. And you, these are beings. Your being. Like if you think a crystal is beautiful, just imagine the complexity that is you, like your eyes, the little hairs on your eyebrows, like everything. It's so beautiful. Keep being unapologetically you, Mel. Yeah. You hear that? I'm getting encouraged to be more crazy. Thank you, Toast, so much. Plot twist, Kim Kardashian trips with Mel and Christian on a regular basis. Yeah, I don't name drop. That's not something that I like to do. But yeah, this whole time, friends, I've actually been uber famous. Kim Kardashian, mushroom trips, giving me presents.
Bro, that would be so rad.
It would be such a trip, dude. Imagine. Just imagine that
I would
somewhere.
just, like, sit and listen.
What?
What is your life story? What happened to you? Why?
How? Oh, I love you. Enjoy the day and evening. Hey, it's insane. Yay, he is. You're streaming right now. It's so late. I mean, it's my time. This is when I usually stream. It's insane. I've always been. I mean, technically, I'm streaming 40 minutes longer than I'm supposed to. I should be cooking right now.
Probably.
But I'm enjoying the stream so much, Christian. Like I
Good,
feel my
enjoy the
heart,
stream, bro.
my heart is just like whoosh,
Go.
love.
That shit, bro. As
Thank
long as
you.
know food's ready
Thank you for
at a
being
certain
here and
time.
loving with me, friends. I appreciate it so much. I do think I have to end the stream to go and cook, though. You think it would be stimulating conversation? Such a weird question to walk into. Over any of no picnics. East Coast Rabbit, are you indoors, Mrs. Dabs? Am I indoors? I'm technically in walls first. Inside the doors. I'm just imagining a whole reality that.
He's just serving his yearly month sentence of insane asylum.
Yeah, I've been put in heaven temporarily. You know, it's all white. You were the only information. I don't know. I'm sorry. Don't forget Jade also has. It's also a handsome gem. Jade, the handsome gem. Suddenly, I'm imagining like a handsome Squidward face, but cut out of jade. Jade, the handsomest of gems. I think it would be stimulating conversation. How are you doing today, Mel? Doing so well, Mrs. Dabs. Feeling great. Feeling glowy, if anything. No, don't go. East Coast Rabbit, don't say that. I've been streaming 40 minutes longer than we've been streaming the last while. I've been cooking food for us, and we've been exercising. So, like, there's a whole little fractal, little pattern that we've been practicing, and it does serve us because we actually get to do things. Melt is a dormouse. Yes. Yes, I am. I'm dormouse too, friend. Just like you, Kazel. Wow! I love you, friends. Thank you for joining me inside instead of outside. Because we're on the 3rd floor right now, and I have internet connection here, and it's cold outside. So many layers. Everything's perfect. Thank you for being here. Do give us a follow if it's the first time you're here. Little elf friend. Hope to see you again. Thank you for joining us today. Sharing some time, sharing a moment even. It's insane. I'm happy that you're safe at the bay. What time is it? It is 44 minutes past 5 right now. Thank you for asking. It's insane. Love to you at the bay. 11:44. Love to you. I love you. Love you so much. Magic. Mrs. Dabs. I'll see you again tomorrow. We show up every single day. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. I hope everyone has a gorgeous day. I love you also very dearly. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shannon. See you very soon, friends. Love to you. Thank you for sending love to our East Coast Rabbit. I appreciate it. Thank you for so much for your time, Mel. I look forward to your streams. I look forward to seeing you here again. Thank you, Krista. Thank you, Fred. I hope to see you again as well. See you so many times more. Thank you for all the times you've seen me. Love you. See you again soon. Cheers! Yeah, toasty. Blasting my eyeballs with a rainbow of love right now. Love you. Wow, some time zone. Same time zone. See ya. Yeah, dude. We live in the same time zone now. It's insane. We can never be separate again. Yo! Squab up! Thank you, friends. I'm being ridiculous right now. I'm feeling kind of anxious because I have to cook an hour worth of food in 15 minutes. Damn it. Love you, friends. Cheers, cheers. See you again soon.